Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. This is going to be another First Impressions video. In today's First Impressions video, we are taking a look at the Springfield 1911 A1 Loaded. Just recently, I finished up a full review on my Springfield 1911 A1 Range Officer in 9mm, and that kind of sparked a little bit more motivation in me to get out this 1911 A1 Loaded in 45 ACP, also by Springfield, onto the channel. So this was actually the first 1911 that I ever purchased. I purchased this gun about 3.5 years ago, so obviously I have shot it and have owned it for quite some time, but it has never ever made an appearance on the channel for a First Impressions video or any type of review. I do have some footage way back when the channel first started of me plinking around at the range with this gun, and I think at this point I have roughly 450 rounds through this gun. Unfortunately, I don't have an exact round count because this is going back to the days where I didn't really keep track of that stuff because I didn't think it mattered back then. Now, obviously, since I shot it, it's not my true first impressions, but it is the first impressions that I have actually here on camera. Now, this particular model that Springfield has, I'm not sure if they still offer this exact same platform. I'm sure they have a model very, very similar. They generally come out with loaded models every now and again. I got lucky enough to get this guy at a pretty crazy value for what it was. I think it was right around $899 or about $920, which I consider very reasonable for what you're getting here. It has the standard Coca-Cola wood grips that are on most of the Springfield 1911s, but what makes the loaded model just a little bit different from your standard range officer or something like that is these front slide serrations up here and also the Novak style 3-dot combat sights. Other than that, it's basically a range officer. Now, this is going back a couple of years ago when they did not have such a wide spectrum of different models of the range officer. Something else that is a notable feature about this A1 Loaded is the fact that it also has a full-length guide rod that can be disassembled with a hex wrench there at the end underneath your barrel bushing. I have never, in the 450 rounds that I have fired through this gun, had an issue. It has fired hollow points, it is chewed through steel case Tula ammunition with absolutely no hiccups whatsoever, and any type of brass ammunition I throw through it, it has absolutely no issues. I've also shot some Hornady Critical Duty Plus P 45 ACP through this, and also had absolutely no failures of any type. The nice thing as well is the fact that it can run steel case ammunition without any issues. I know some 1911s out there may have issues with steel case ammo, and there's going to be everybody out there that may or may not like running steel case ammo. But I think it's definitely worth noting that it's kind of nice that this has no issue and is not particular with any type of high quality brass ammunition. It's going to run whatever you put through it. Another notable feature on the A1 Loaded is going to be an ambidextrous safety control that's on both sides of the gun. This is going to be nice for all you lefties out there that don't really like utilizing your trigger finger to manipulate the safety. Here you have it on both sides. One feature that is lacking that I do wish, and I've said this previously in other 1911 reviews, I wish it had some front strap checkering of some type up here, just really anything, even if it was like 3 lines or something. Having a completely smooth front strap, you definitely start to lose a little bit of traction when you're working with Plus P ammo or anything that's a little bit higher recoiling in the 45 department. I do notice a significant difference between a 1911 that has front strap checkering and a 1911 that doesn't. It's one of those things that really does matter when you're shooting these guys. Now, I have grown to just simply get used to it on this particular pistol, but in the future, I wish Springfield offered some type of an affordable checkering up here at the front to not ruin the value, but still give you a really nice feel in the hand. Now, in the box with your A1 Loaded, it is going to come with 2 7-round standard GI style 45 ACP magazines. I went ahead and picked up a third 7-round mag, and unfortunately I have not tried any other magazines than the 3 that you see here. Obviously this gun should have absolutely no issues with any sort of Kimber or Wilson Combat magazines or if you wanted to get the 10-round magazines, you also should not have an issue. But these magazines function perfectly. I didn't expect to have any issues. Now, something else that's nice about the A1 loaded model are these Novak style 3-dot sights. These Novak sights are nice because unlike other options out there and other Springfields, you can actually switch these out and get other 1911 Novak style sights to drop into this gun. Now, most of the time, you guys are probably aware if you are already 1911 shooters. If you're not, you will generally have to fit a lot of 1911 parts, and that's including sights. Very rarely you're going to get dovetailed in Novak sights that just drop in cleanly. A lot of the time you might have to just file here and there just ever so slightly to make sure that they fit perfectly. Now, that is generally the name of the game with 1911s. However, I have not tried to switch out these sights for any sort of tritium, night sights, or anything like that. Honestly, guys, I didn't really feel the need to. These 3-dot combat sights work great for me. I have absolutely no issues with them whatsoever. Getting into the trigger here, we are talking about a 1911. We're gonna get a really, really clean, crisp, short take up there, and then we're gonna hit a crisp wall. We get our break, and our reset is going to be really nice, little bit of take up again, and then our break. So a phenomenal trigger for the value that this guy is coming in at. Absolutely no issues with it at all. I actually did not feel the need to adjust this at any point during my shooting. You do have an extended beaver tail on the A1 loaded. This would be something that I would absolutely prefer. The checkering in the back of the gun is excellent. I have absolutely no issues with this at all. This is what I would have loved them to continue on the front of the gun, as I stated earlier in the video, but obviously I do understand that this is more so a price point thing, and there's only so many things that you can add on the gun before the price point just totally gets out of the market that you're trying to hit. When we're looking at the Coca-Cola wood grips, I had no issues with these at all. If you did want to switch out these wood grips for some G10 grips or something like that, you absolutely can, but I felt that the aggression from these was just enough to not really slip out of my hand. And honestly, guys, the look of these Coca-Cola wood grips with the stainless gun and the front slide serrations just looks awesome. I absolutely love how this whole presentation is, and normally I'm a little bit more of a fan of kind of old school style Parkerized 1911s, but I made an exception with this gun and went with the stainless, and ultimately I think it looks great. And the front slide serrations are extremely aggressive. They're really nice if you did want to manipulate the slide from the front for whatever reason, or if you wanted to press check. The accuracy on this gun was extremely impressive at the range. When I moved out to about 25 yards, hitting very small 6-inch steel poppers was absolutely no issue whatsoever. It was extremely easy to make longer shots, and moving up close, rapid fire, or whatever else I was doing, it was extremely shootable. I was very, very pleased, and you guys know I'm a huge fan of 45 ACP 1911s just because I absolutely love the way that they shoot. They generally recoil similar to some 9mm polymer frame handguns out there because of the added weight of the steel frame. So I'm a huge fan of shooting 45, and the fact that this guy eats whatever ammo I put through it is just such an added benefit, and it's an absolute blast to shoot at the range. Springfield ultimately, in my opinion, makes an extremely high quality 1911 for the money. A bulk of their 1911 lineup is less than $1,000, and for less than $1,000 you are getting, in my opinion, a lot of the quality of some higher end manufacturing 1911s, but you're not getting the added price point of just having a different name slapped on the side. Now, they do offer some higher end models as well, getting into the TRP Operator series, and those are going to be into the $1,200 to $1,400 area. They're extremely high quality 1911s. I would love to take a look at some of those. And obviously, when you're getting into the Nighthawks and the Wilson Combats and the Les Bears, there are going to be differences in fit and finish, trigger, hand fitting, different things like that. But overall, guys, for a beginner 1911, you can't really beat these. And if you were looking to carry one for self-defense, it would be a great choice as well. Obviously, as a side note, this will fit all of your standard 1911 5-inch government holsters that are out there on the market. It's not going to have any sort of a different profile like some SIG 1911s out there, which I do appreciate. I love the SIG 1911s, but just that slight increase and difference in the overall dimensions of the gun makes it a little bit bit more challenging to find a holster. Luckily with this guy, the only issues you might run into if you're looking at a leather holster is the fact that these front slide serrations may chew up the leather a little bit more than normal because they are very sharp on the edge, but that will wear in over time. And that's pretty much going to wrap this video up, guys. I don't really have anything but good things to say, similar to my 9mm range officer review of my other Springfield. I will put that review up in a card in the right-hand corner right now. Feel free to check that video out. I'm a huge fan of these 1911s, and I'm hoping to branch out and get a couple of more on the channel from some different manufacturers, because I think a lot of you guys like seeing somewhat of a different theme from what's normally on my channel, and I definitely love shooting these guys. I absolutely love shooting 1911s at the range. They are such fun shooters, and they're such accurate guns. The gun has been extremely reliable. It has functioned very, very well, and I cannot wait to get over the 1,000 round mark to do the full review on this particular pistol. If you guys have any questions about this gun or anything else on my channel, feel free to put them down below in the comments section, and you guys know I absolutely will get back to you. While you're down there, check out that description. The first link will show you how you can support what I do here on the Firearm Freedom channel. In that description, you will also find links to the Firearm Freedom Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram account. Be sure to give those a follow. We do daily posts on all three of those and twice a week live streams on the Instagram account. If you enjoy the content that's coming out here on the Firearm Freedom YouTube channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. We are almost at 10,000 subscribers as this video is coming out, and I cannot wait. We got some really fun stuff dropping at 10,000 subs, so you guys aren't going to want to miss it, and I would really appreciate the help to get there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more great videos to come soon.